I'll begin by discussing why you should adopt animals from a animal shelter or a humane society as opposed to a breeder, for example. Shelters are already overpopulated as it is, so adopting from them helps to reduce the crowding in there and give an opportunity to multiple pets, even beyond the one that you adopt. Adopting from an animal shelter, obviously you'll take one out, so it helps them in the short term. But then additionally, it frees up space for more. 3.3 million dogs alone are brought into shelters each year, and estimates range from 1 million to 2.7 million pets that have to be euthanized in shelters to deal with overcrowding. Adopting from the shelters can bring one pet out and then make room for others. In addition, breeders are occasionally running puppy mills, which are operations where dogs are bred over and over only for puppies, and little regard is given to their health. They are kept in unhealthy conditions and given little care, and when they can no longer um, give birth to puppies, they are often killed or abandoned. And adopting from shelters rather than breeders can discourage this practice because they are not making money from it anymore. A second reason to adopt from an animal shelter is just that it's simply cheaper than a breeder. Breeders are often above $1,000 to buy a pet from because it takes more effort to keep the genetic lines untangled, whereas shelters are the pets that are available, so they're much cheaper. They are often spayed or neutered at the shelter, which takes care of many of their hospital costs, and they can even microchip them, which is included in the adoption cost. Most shelters average around $200 for an adoption, although it does range depending on the animal that you pick. Whereas I said before, breeders can often reach up to $1,000, so you save yourself money if you adopt from an animal shelter. Finally, shelter animals are often healthier and better trained than they would be in a breeder if you adopt from a breeder. Animal shelters are often the homes of dogs who were abandoned. So you can find fully trained dogs that used to live in a home that for one reason or another were brought to the shelter and then are readoptable. So they range anywhere from being fully trained to at least partially trained, because at the shelters they're given more attention and more socialization with other dogs, so they will behave better, they will be more used to being around people, and they'll be more used to being around animals, all of which ease the burden on whoever adopted them. Purebred animals also run the risk of having health problems because their genetics, they have very few genetic differences, which can lead um, to health issues such as Down syndrome, which has occurred in dogs. So, finally, adopting from the shelter can help prevent many of these health risks and get a better trained dog in the meantime because they are socialized and taken care of better. In conclusion, adopting from a shelter can be cheaper, you can get a better trained dog, and you can assist a dog that is living in the shelter or that is going to be brought into the shelter where it otherwise wouldn't have been able to because of space. Next, we'll discuss how we're going to get this information out into the public.